In Module 7, I walked you through segments of an ACC recording, mapping behaviors to statements, citing timestamps, rating on a 4-point scale. We're doing the same thing now, but the listening is different. At ACC, the question was, is this behavior present? At PCC, the question is this behavior integrated into the coach's practice? Does it show depth? Does the coach do it naturally, or are they trying to demonstrate it? That shift from presence to integration changes what you notice. Let's see what it looks like in a real session. Here's the concrete difference between ACC and PCC evaluation. At ACC, you're tracking discrete behaviors. Did the coach paraphrase? Was the question clean? Did the coach avoid leading? At PCC, you're tracking integration. Does the listening shape the direction of the session? Does the coach follow the client's meaning, not just their words? Is presence observable in the moment, not only in retrospect? At ACC, you're checking a ledger. At PCC, you're watching how the coach's attention moves with the client in real time. 2 segments will show you what that integration looks like when it's working well. Segment 1 focuses on C3 and C5, agreements and presence. At 1:45, the coach asks what the client wants to focus on. Marker 3.1, session goal established, standard. Then at 2:10, the coach asks, what makes this important to you right now? That's marker 3.3, exploring what's meaningful. The client pauses, thinks, and says something the coach clearly didn't expect. The real question surfaces while the client is articulating the first one. Here's the point. The agreement the coach ends up working with is not the one stated at the opening, not even close. It evolved as the client talked. A PCC-level agreement isn't fixed at the start. It's maintained by updating in real time as the client's real direction emerges. At 2:40, the coach follows the client's new direction. No return to the original frame. No, let's come back to what you said earlier. The coach simply moves with the client, and you can watch it happen. Marker 5.3, supporting the client to choose what happens in the session. The direction changes mid-session, and the coach changes with it. No agenda holding, no redirection back. That responsiveness is the observable evidence of presence at PCC level. Not just attention, movement with the client as they discover where they're actually going. 2 PCC level ratings from one segment. C3. The agreement evolves in real time, not what the client said at the opening, where the client landed once they started talking. C5. Presence follows the client's lead. The coach didn't execute a plan. They stayed with the client as the plan revealed itself. This is PCC level partnering, both competencies demonstrated through one observable pattern, not 2 separate actions. That integration, 2 markers, 1 movement, is characteristic of PCC coaching. The form and the function become the same thing. Segment 2 moves to C6, active listening. At 8:20, the client says a phrase. The coach doesn't paraphrase the surface meaning. The coach picks up one specific word and holds it open. Marker 6.2, exploring the words the client uses. The precision matters here, not exploring the general idea, not summarizing the thought, isolating one word and inviting the client deeper into it. Here's the distinction worth making. Paraphrase says, I heard your meaning. Marker 6.2 says, I heard this particular word and I want to know what it holds for you. Different category. PCC level listening at the word level. At 9:05, something changes in how the client is speaking. The energy shifts. The coach notices and names it immediately. Something shifted just now. Marker 6.4. Exploring the client's energy shifts as they occur. Not analyzing the shift after the fact, not referencing it 10 minutes later when the significance is clear. Naming it in the moment. The client confirms and goes further. That naming is what opens the next layer. PCC-level listening is not just hearing. It's responding to how the client is present right now in this exchange, not how they were present 2 turns ago. Here's what the full sequence produces. The client enters describing a constraint. The coach holds the client's specific language, no reframing, no moving past it. The client finds a different angle. There's a distinction worth naming. Coaching toward an insight means the coach has a destination and steers. Following the client to one means holding space until the client arrives on their own terms. In this segment, the coach never offered a reframe. They held the client's own language until the client found a different angle. The possibility came from the client. That's the PCC standard for C6. 2 segments. What they establish. PCC-level listening is a relationship with what the client says at the level of word, energy, and meaning. Marker 6.2, isolating specific client language. Marker 6.4, naming an energy shift as it occurs. Markers 3.3 and 5.3, following the client's real direction as it emerges. Across both segments, C6 rates as consistently PCC level. That's the correct rating, not because every moment was perfect, but because the pattern holds across the session. This same coach has a growth area in C7. Same session, same coach, different moment. That's what the next video is about.